We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready. Right there. 54 Mike. Get the ball. Check it out,
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
That one good for 26 and a first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsay. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. This is the tight end Fant.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On the ready.
They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Faking the give to Lindsay. Here's Locke. He's got his tight end Fant. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And Xavier Woods with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, Terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers. And then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction. Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. Because I remember playing in these spots, and my coaches always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Safe. Hey, check 24. Hey, kill. Check in. All day, dog.
Out of its end zone, Prescott. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he takes it all the way up to the 45-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. And even 40 yards. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45.
Check three. Kill. 26.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Hey, kill. 47. It's our time. 26.
To the air again, Prescott. Caught by Cobb. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Prescott off play action. It's caught. Cooper. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
At the 30-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch the pass.
Block off of play action. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. On play action, Locke. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And they'll need the 39 here for a 1st. This is 3rd down.
Hey, exit.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. He got 29 yards that time. And on this challenge, the refs have to take a peek and see whether or not the receiver was able to dot the I with both feet,
while making sure that he possesses the football all the way through the catch.
Set, ready? 15, line it. 15, line it. 6-6, bullet time. Check.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Lindsey, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Philip Lindsey, his 21st touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the first half. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 25 yards that time.
Let's go, go to 54, go to 54. Line in. Here we go, 47. 26.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And again, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
The tackle made by James Smith. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd down.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
218, chopper. And let's pin the mirror. Let's go.
Play action. Now it's Locke. Flush to his right. He's going to let this go. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 42 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7 our score. Remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st down, Lindsey. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Lindsey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Hey, box truck. Look at me. Door. Lee Griffin.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth. So on fourth down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the left hash, this from 46. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will knot things up here late in the first half. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, just string them together. Could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. To throw again on second down. Prescott, complete. Smith has it. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, check right 33. Check right 33. Hey, come on, Slam, slam, slam.
Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Prescott to throw it. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to...
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They fake the handoff. Now Locke. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, it feels like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets.
Hey, I said this.
Off the play fake. Lock. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Here's Bryan Anger now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
Jim.
We're going to 53.
A second down throw for Prescott. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And they'll get this well past midfield. Before being stopped just before the 35.
Cowboys, first down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Randall Cobb on the breakaway. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randall Cobb, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He'll get this to Phillip Lindsay complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 25 yards there on the catch and run. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Locke now on 1st down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Set, ready, 30 base.
Watch the run, watch the run.
5.
51 to Mike, boy, 51. Bandit.
On first down, Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Hey, Mike, 51.
Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. Being chased out left. And he's going to go down again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
First and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Clock now to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
The kick by McManus is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
First down 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Well, they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Trey Hendrickson, the one who gets him on the ground.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
3 bud. Check the backer, check the backer.
Hey, kill.
Now a handoff looking right. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Undercrush.
Kill.
Mike 56. Get that quarterback.
Switch it, hey.
Now they try the right side here.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And now the ball's out, fumbled near midfield. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long.
It's now 3rd down and long.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
Here we go, kill. Here we go. 34's the Mike. He's coming. Check him. Watch the elbow. Alert 3.
Prescott from the gun. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go.
This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Now he's forced out right. And now he's going to use his leg. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. Say, all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
A nice run on 1st down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now a carry for Lindsey. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run it. Freeman. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. He needed less than a foot. He didn't get a whole lot more than that, but he did get the first down.
Well, he and his offensive line created enough push where if he was able to just fall forward as he was able to there, that would pick up the first down. As you noted, didn't need a whole lot, didn't get much more than that.
And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys' side of the field. A big run there by Freeman. 45 yards on the ground.
First down, Denver.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Into the red zone, it's locked. And he's wrapped up. Taken down, back at the 25. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here.
Switch up, switch up.
So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's going to be caught. 23 yards, the final tally. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Go, 50, plant.
Watch 54. You don't want none, baby. You don't want none.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Royce Freeman, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point from McManus is good. And that will get them one closer. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
At the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I got you. I got you, son. I got you. You're all mine. You're all mine, baby. Get this. You're all mine.
Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. And that knee will do it. So they snap the losing streak. Always a good feeling.
Yeah, I don't know if this one right here when they're taking a knee is as much exultation as exhalation, right? They just breathe a sigh of relief. Finally got a win, needed one desperately.
So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Dallas, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.